Hello America, hello worldwide. For some time, I've talked about how your public servants shouldn't be doing better than the public they serve. And I thought, how fun would it be to know just exactly how much they are making off of you, or off of manipulating you, better yet said. And I have found several sites, of course, some with very low numbers and stated they were the lowest average, and some at the high. So I decided to go with the middle. And here is a list of current members of the United States Congress by wealth. Let's go on to read. And this is by wikimilly.com. Says the list of members of the United States Congress by wealth includes the 50 richest members of Congress as of 2018. So this isn't even 2020, after the market completely crashed and they more than likely doubled their investments, including 20 timesing their investment, as Bill Gates admitted to. And he's not part of Congress, but is he not part of Congress, considering he's Fauci's best friend, and Fauci's wife is Christine Grady, who works at the NIH, the NIH proves things for the FDA. So do we not recall the swine flu fraud by the CDC in 1976? Anyways, as it goes, the list of members of the United States Congress by wealth, includes the 50 richest members of Congress as of 2018. It displays the net worth, in parentheses, the difference between assets and liabilities, out of parentheses, for the members of their immediate family, such as a spouse or dependent children. These figures offer only an estimate of wealth, as the Congressional Financial Disclosure rules use value ranges instead of exact amounts. As an upper range is not specified for values over 50 million, in parentheses again, or over 1 million for a spouse, out of parentheses. Large assets are not represented accurately. Additionally, government salaries and personal residence are not typically included in disclosures. So, in other words, it's probably higher. Furthermore, several members of Congress do not use standardized electronic format, instead filing reports that range from vague to indecipherable. As of 2020, over half of the members of Congress were millionaires, and the median net worth of members was approximately $1 million. The original documents for each member disclosure are publicly available on a database website maintained by Open Secrets. Since 2009, the salaries per annum of members of the United States Congress have been as follows. Okay, so position: Speaker of the House of Representatives, salary is $223,500. Majority Leader and Minority Leader of the House of Representatives, $193,400. President pro tempore of the Senate, $193,400, which was the same as the last one, if I didn't get that last part. Senators and representatives, $174,000. Non-voting members of the United States House of Representatives, $174,000. Whew, man. Considering that our soldiers get paid pennies on the dollar, I know how that makes you feel, considering that they actually put their life on the line for us. But hey, even if they are manipulated into believing so, and that these wars are exactly what they are, for the rich to profit off of, they still go out there without question for us. As of 2019 and 2018, the top 50 wealthiest members of the United States Congress were as follows. Source, again, Open Secrets, 2019 and 2018. Name, Rick Scott. Party, Republican. State, Florida. Chamber, Senate. Incumbent. INCUMBENT. Anyways, net worth, $259 million, 0.7. Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia, Senate, And yeah, essentially, I guess they're still working for the House or whatever. $214.1 million. Greg Giant Fort, Republican in Montana, House. Yes, still working. $189.3 million. Paul Mitchell, Republican in Michigan, House. He is no longer working, I'm assuming is what that means. $179.6 million. Mitt Romney, Republican of Utah, Senate, and still working, yes, $174.5 million. Vernon Buchanan, Republican, Florida, House, and yes, still working, $157.2 million. Mike Braun, Republican, Indiana, Senate, and yes, still working. I'll just let you know if they're not. $136.8 million. Don Beyer, Democrat, Virginia, House, $124.9 million. Let's just say if they're not making it based on their actual salary, they're making it based on screwing you over and manipulating you to go along with their bull. And let's call lobbyists are probably a big part of this to pass the things that they want rather than the things that need to be done. So Don Beyer, because I already said Mike Braun, right? So Mike Braun, let's just go over that again. Republican, Indiana, Senate, yes, still working, $136.8 million. Don Beyer, Democrat, Virginia, House, and still working, $124.9 million. Dean Phillips, Democrat, Minnesota, House, $123.8 million. Oh, Nancy Pelosi. And let's not even talk about her husband and the amazing job they do on the stock market and making tons of money there. I mean, gosh, how would they know what the future holds, right? So Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, House, obviously still working, unfortunately. $114.7 million. And in other places, it's been said that it's a lot more than that. John Hoeven, Republican, North Dakota, Senate, $93.4 million. Dianne Feinstein, Democrat, California, Senate, $87.9 million. And again, I'm sure it's quite a bit more than that. Susan Delbane, Democrat, Washington, House, $79.4 million. Fred Upton, Republican, Michigan, House, $79 million. Ron Johnson, Republican, Wisconsin, Senate, $78.5 million. Roger Williams, Republican, Texas, House, $67 million. Buddy Carter, Republican, House, Republican, Georgia, House, $66.5 million. Jim Risch, Republican, Idaho, $41.8 million. Mitch McConnell, Republican, Kentucky, Senate. And let me just, oh gosh, it went out of order. $134.1 million. It could be, considering his wife is Elaine Chao, I think is what it is. And her family owns the shipping business and has consistent meetings with the Communist Party of China on a very regular basis. So yes, $134.1 million for Mitch McConnell. Steve Daines, Republican, Montana, Senate, $32.9 million. Kevin Hern, Republican, Oklahoma, $61 million. Scott Peters, Democrat, California, House, $60.5 million. And Kevin Hern was also House. Rick W. Allen, Republican, Georgia, House, $52.1 million. Joe Kennedy, the third, Democrat, Massachusetts. Blah, that's a weird word, isn't it? Anyways. House, supposedly no on, I'm assuming that, again, means working for them still, $46.5 million. Ralph Norman, Republican, South Carolina, House, still working, $43.4 million. Kenny Marchin, Republican, Texas, House, and no, not working, $33.7 million. Lloyd Doggett, Democrat, Texas, House, yes, $29.7 million. Brad Schneider, Democrat, Illinois House, $27.2 million. Nita Lowy, Democrat, New York House, again with this one, assuming that means they're not working with it anymore, $24.8 million. Jim Sensenbrenner, Republican, Wisconsin House, no, again not working, $28.8 million. Phil Rowe, Republican, Tennessee House, again no on that, assuming that means if they're working or not for them still, $20.2 million. Richard Shelby, Republican, Alabama Senate, yes, still working, $19.1 million. John Yarmouth, Democrat, Kentucky House, yes, $17.1 million. Goodness gracious. Let's see here. Jim Cooper, Democrat, Tennessee House, yes, still working, $16.3 million. Michael Bennett, Democrat, Colorado Senate, yes, $15.7 million. Liz Cheney, Republican, Wyoming House, yes, obviously still working, $14.7 million. Tom Rice, Republican, South Carolina House, yes, $14.6 million. Bill Foster, Democrat, Illinois House, yes, still working, $14.1 million. Dan Newhouse, Republican, Washington House, sorry, looking at that name, I was like, did I already say House? Anyways, House, yes, $13.8 million. Caroline Maloney, Democrat, New York House, yes, $13 million. Earl Blumenauer, Blumenauer, Democrat, Oregon House, yes, $12.6 million. Mike Kelly, Republican, Pennsylvania House, yes, $12.4 million. Mike Conaway, Republican, Texas House, no longer working, I'm assuming, $12.4 million. Ralph Abraham, Republican, Louisiana House, again, not working still, I don't think, $12.4 million. Mark Mullen, Republican, Oklahoma House, yes, at $11.4 million. Ann Wagner, Republican, Missouri House, yes, $11.1 million. Jackie Spire, Democratic, California House, yes, $11.0 million. Tom Tillis, Republican, Northern Carolina Senate, yes, $11 million. Rob Portman, Republican, Ohio Senate, yes, $10.8 million. Lisa Blunt, Rochester, Democratic, Delaware House, yes, $10.7 million. This is based on 2018 information. Ain't that cute? How much they're making off of you. In addition to the hundreds of thousands of dollars your taxpayers pay them every year. Do you also know, if you know your Constitution, you would know that direct taxation on the people is actually illegal. It is unconstitutional and has been proved so by the Supreme Court on multiple occasions. If you'd like further information, comment below and I'll be happy to send it to you. Please make sure you add your email address in there and I'll send you the forms. Okay? Love to you all. Revolution now? It's past due. Toodaloo, daughters and sons of God. Together, we are stronger. And we don't have to put up with any of this. We could, if we lived to treat each other as, the sons and daughters, brothers and sisters of God, and we did away with the monetary system that allows for these corrupt individuals to get away with all this BS, which governments have. If you know your history, you'll know that governments have never been for the people. They've been for the few, and the few that are willing to sell their souls to serve them. It's time to stand up on your own. It's time to stand together. It's been time. This is disgusting. Disgusting. You want to sit there, and I'm assuming some of you out there are probably thinking, oh, well, I don't mind paying taxes, I mean, if they're going to help in these programs or whatever. But the thing is they don't. Sadly, they don't. Your money's not used in the way that it should be. You have $21 trillion plus, that's old information, so plus unaccounted for by the Pentagon. Yearly, over 50% of our taxes go to the military, and then over 75% of that goes to the Pentagon, and they've got 21 trillion unaccounted for. Honeys, no more. They've stolen our land after let's not even get started on that whole thing. But the point is we should all be able to live and thrive together, not hurting each other, living amongst each other, helping each other, not being lazy or hating to do that, but desiring to do so, having fun, raising our families, and just not being poisoned constantly by everything that we face daily. The air, we're raised to be paper pushers and rely on corporations to feed us and clothe us and whatever, when we should learn how to do all that and provide for ourselves on our own. They are making us completely worthless to ourselves. They are keeping us uneducated. You've got the talk about abortion constantly, but never the education on how to avoid it. and it's so easy. It's so easy. And if you actually were educated and understood how easy it was, your mind would be blown. So if you are a woman out there and you are upset about that comment that I just made about abortion or whatever, because you believe in your choice to choose, so do I. So choose not to get pregnant in the first place. Choose to educate yourself to know when is the couple of hours in the month that you should take precautions. It's literally that minimal. It is truly a miracle if a woman even gets pregnant these days, especially. Oh, man. Happy to educate you on whatever it is. But the biggest part is actually learning what questions to ask. That is something that I'll cover what I can, but it's up to you to do the reading and the research and to learn what questions to ask. But I will happily help you. Okay. Love to you all. Please don't be afraid of the unknown. Fear God, because He's the only one that's truly in control of your life. And if things go horribly wrong, in your opinion, it's likely He's trying to teach you something. And it takes your trust in Him, not man's religion. Man's religion is bull crap. It's lies. It's half-truths, which are worse than lies. Okay? We can do this together. But you got to let go of the selfishness, the self-serving, the self-preservation, the greed. It could be a beautiful world. Beautiful. Oh. Love y'all. Bye-bye.